Live. Make sure it's charging.
Oh yeah, we in.
We good?
Yep.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, we brothers from Atlanta, GMS Atlanta. You know, we're here the night of the Passover. Before we get started in this this lesson, this pre-Passover lesson, we want to give our praises to
Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash.
and double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone, and peace and safety to you brothers and you sisters out there, sincerely serving Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. All right, like I said, you know, another year, you know, another Passover. Lord's will, this be the last one. You know, and we coming to this this service, this Passover service, as a solemn assembly, as the Lord instructed us to. You know, of course, brothers are going to bring out these precepts. This is a solemn assembly. Of course, as well, we are just rehearsing the righteous acts of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So, you know, we're just going to dive into it. You know, every brother's here to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, just as we do on the highways and hedges. It's a very spiritual night. It is, first off, it is a Sabbath. All right. Hey, somebody help Kabar out.
It's not charging. It's not charging.
It is a Sabbath. It is a high holy day. All right. And it is blood moon. Blood moon. You know, so those are signs of the times that we're in.
What, the eclipse tonight, right?
The eclipse tonight. For our time, the eclipse will be around 2:30-ish to about 3:30. The full blood moon for about an hour, it'll be around that time frame here in Atlanta. So we just gonna jump into it, man. Brothers got precepts on deck. We got definitions. So whoever want to jump in, go.
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
Just land backing up what you were saying. This is Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers and the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates.
Yeah. We're okay. Yeah, come. You know, we're in our land of captivity. You know, this is where most of our people are gathered. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Most of our people are gathered here in Babylon the Great, which is America. And this is the place where we will rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You know?
Yeah, because I want to say the gates represents the leadership. All right, so Israel, you know, starting with our apostles and elders, as you can see what's going on with Israel and a lot of folly going on. All right, here it is. The apostles and elders are still holding it down and still teaching us younger men how to conduct ourselves in the faith and how to approach these solemn assemblies, these high holy days. Because you know, you watch these other camps, which we're not going to get on, but you know, it's all fun and games with the women. You know, as brothers are going to bring out, this is a solemn assembly.
That's right, bro.
I got a precept too. Go ahead, bro. Because we're in a very spiritual time, just like the captain was saying. You know, we got signs in the sky right now.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take it back to the beginning. This is Genesis chapter 1 and 14, and it said, God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." Yeah, that's it. So like pretty much what it's saying is like this is those signs in the sky are for, I mean, those moon and the sun, those are for our benefit,
Right.
to understand what time that we're in, man. And it's heavy that there's gonna be an eclipse during the night of the Passover, man.
Yeah.
Something big's about to happen. You know, this Passover could be the inception of something catastrophic happening. It could be a catalyst to something big happening in the spirit, man. And that's what we're all anticipating, man. In the spirit of the fear of the Lord, man. You know, because I always think about, I know we want to get out of here. I know we want this place to end.
Yeah.
But you always got to be understanding of what you're asking for. You know what I'm saying? because the Lord is about to bring a judgment on this planet Earth
Right.
that nobody has ever seen.
That's right.
It's going to shake everybody on the planet Earth, including you.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's only the Lord's going to keep certain spirits still during that time, you know. But we see these signs and we acknowledge it, and that's a step, because
Yeah.
most people ain't acknowledging this.
Yeah.
They're not keeping what we're keeping right now tonight, and the majority are going to die in pain, just like it says in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter.
That's right.
So
You know?
about that, what do
Yeah.
you think?
Like you said, these people, they're not. Here it is. We're gathered together to observe the service of Yahweh Shemel Shai, the Lord's
Mhm.
Passover. Most of these people ain't thinking about this, man. They're not thinking about the signs in the heavens that the Lord has given us. You know, they're too busy caught up on Bronny James and the 49ers releasing all these players and all this other shit going on in the world, man. They too busy caught up in the world.
Well, I got a
Go
precept,
ahead.
because, you know,
Go ahead.
this is that precept that the bishop put in the other day in Wisdom of Solomon 13:1. It says, surely vain are all men by nature.
Yeah.
You gonna say something?
No, like that just hit me.
Yeah.
Just, yes.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
what it
you got
is.
the spirit hit you to say something,
Yeah.
bro, say something.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Everything these people think about, everything how they operate, how they move, it's all vanity.
Right.
Is a missile is about to hit
Right.
America, multiple missiles,
Right.
and completely destroy it. And they're all preoccupied in these different ventures and ways, and it just doesn't. It's not going to deliver them
Right.
from the destruction that's coming.
Yeah. Here it is. The Lord set up prophets of doom.
Mm.
You know, we're telling our people that Esau, the so-called white man, is the devil. He's gonna come down with great wrath. He's planning on making a sea hit mandatory.
Right.
He's gonna shut these cities down. There's gonna be a famine. There's gonna be an insurrection. You know, there's gonna be all kinds of trouble. Hell to be, you know, on earth.
Mm-hmm.
We're telling these people, and nobody, you niggas crazy.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Appreciate
Got it out.
This is Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. It says, thus said the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. And you know, all people love to follow these heathens, love to follow Esau.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they see the blood moon, they might say, oh, you know, that's, you know, my horoscope said, you know, this and that.
Right.
This is my year to prosper. No, this
Going
is the
in
year
zodiacs.
that judgment is about to come on the earth, man.
Right. The scriptures say what? Falling out of multitude.
To do evil.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, so like all these other people, they don't know, they don't truly understand the signs that the Lord is putting out there, man.
Yeah.
What is they? You understand what I'm spitting right now?
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I'll keep going for you. This is Wisdom of Solomon 13:1 again. It says, surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of the Most High, and could not out of the God of the good things that are seen know him that is, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the work master. Okay, like what it's saying is, man, I got a quick one to back that up. In 2nd Ezra 9, I'll let this, you know, the precepts break themselves down. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 10. It says, verse 9 and 9. It says, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Verse 10, the point, it says, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. So that's what Wisdom of Solomon 13:1 is saying. You know, all these things that they see around them, the trees, the stars, the grass, the ants moving around, you know, shit, their own dog that they have in their house. They're not acknowledging the craftsmanship of the Heavenly Father, who has made all these things around you.
Right.
And they don't acknowledge the true infinite power that you even open your eyes every single day, because that's a benefit.
That's right.
That is a benefit
Yeah.
for you to wake up. It's a benefit for you to take your first breath in the morning. The Lord didn't have to give that to you, but He did. And you got people around here acting like they do it on their own,
Right.
on their own free will. Free will. Men have free will. Nah, man. The Lord has prescribed all of this according to the scriptures, and the Lord has ordained all of this according to the scriptures for you to even wake your little ass up. You got something?
Got a precept just to back up your point, bro. Psalm 68, verse 19. Blessed be the Lord. That's another reminder to consistently bless the Lord too, and then thank Him if you can consider these things. It says, "Who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the Lord even the Lord, power of our salvation." So, just remember, this is the same power who's gonna save us. Lord willing, will be a part of that number.
Yeah.
But still have to still acknowledge Him. Basically, He is our Father. Imagine a father never hearing from his son, never talking to him. You get what I'm saying? So acknowledge these things. You know, Dwadi Yahweh Shah for waking me up. You know, it's another day just to bless you. It's another day to glorify you.
Yeah.
Another day to help a brother, show charity, exercise everything that we're supposed to exercise. You know, as far as the you know, being what's the whole duty of man, you know?
Right.
But that's pretty much it, just to back up.
Yeah, and you know, just to tie everything back to the point of the Passover, we have to rely on the Lord again, just like we did in the time of Exodus, man.
Yep.
In the time of Pharaoh, in the time of our, time of our bondage, these heathens, ruling over us, we had to cry unto Yahweh by Shem Shai in the times past. And we're gonna have to do it again.
I got one right.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Jeremiah 16 and verses 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord. You got it, bro. You break it down. I'll just read it for you. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said that the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Right, because, like the brother was mentioning, we're going to have to rely on Yahweh, which is the name of the Most High God, Bahashem, which is in the name Yahweh Shai, which is the son's name. We're going to have to rely on Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai once again, as we did in ancient Egypt. Yeah. That's what it's talking about. They shall no more say the Lord liveth. That's talking about the old Egypt. Revelation 11 tells you it's a spiritual Egypt, which is America. Continue on.
Jeremiah 16 and verse 15. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them.
Right, and that's the land of the north is talking about North America. All right, the northern western hemisphere, which is America. And it says from all the lands where he had scattered us, because the nation of Israel was scattered among all the other nations. Continue on.
Continue on, it says, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
And that's what we're hoping for. Before we started the stream, brothers kept on saying, Lord willing, is the last Passover we keep here in Babylon, because the Lord's going to bring us back to our land, which is the land of Israel. It's going to get hit with nukes. He's going to clean up all that filth over there, because the small hats are over there. And he's going to send us back to our land, Lord willing, we're the elect. That's it on that.
I can go to verse 16, and then on that. Jeremiah 16 and 16. Behold, I will send from many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them.
Right, and that's Lord willing, we're those true prophets. That's us, the fishermen. It's a patient game.
Yeah,
it's a patient sport, so to speak. You got to be peaceful. You have to be, you brothers that fish. You can say it better than me. I'm not. But on a spiritual level, that's what we're doing. We're fishing.
Shalom, you wanna?
Yeah, man. When you out there, you sometimes you just doing it for sport. Some people fish to eat.
Yeah.
At this point, we fishing to eat, man.
Yeah. Right.
And you got to stay on there. You got to be patient. You got to, you got to use different strategies. And then once you catch it, hey, you can eat. Yeah. So it's really all about patience.
Yeah.
And temperance and just
keeping your
just keep it staying level headed.
Yeah.
Can I land back?
You got it, brother.
Man, because even fishing too, like you said, some people do it for some people do it for therapeutic reasons.
Yeah.
You be out there calm at the lake or something, or you on the boat. It's just, even if you ain't catching nothing, so exactly. The scriptures say what? in your patience possessing your souls. So in the process of possessing your souls with that knowledge, it should be therapeutic to you.
Right.
You know, doing this work, it should be therapeutic.
Yeah,
You know?
it should be an addiction, like the
Yeah.
scriptures say.
Yep.
Got it.
I'll continue.
Yeah.
Oh, we finished this already. Behold, Jeremiah 16:16, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters.
Right, and that's a whole different dynamic than fishing. Those are two different. You know, I'm gonna just use the word sports. You know, but like the brother said, you know, people will hunt for food and people fish for food, but those are two different things. You know, you got to be more cunning. You know, as a hunter, you got to be like it says about Esau. You know, Esau's a cunning hunter. But you got to be a little more cunning, and you got to be more aggressive as well. You know. Continue on.
Continue on, it says, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks.
Right, and that's talking about starting with the elites of Esau. You know, they're going to be hiding. It says in Revelation, I believe 16, so let the rocks fall on us to hide us from the land, which is Yahweh Shai. So, you know, lo only were those men, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua is going to give us power to search them out wherever they're hiding, and they're multi-billion, trillion-dollar bunkers. You know.
Yeah.
But you both got it.
I just looked up hunt on the etymon, and it says from Old English hunting, which is a chase game. So I could see that working just like you said, just chasing them down and getting them out of those bunkers that they're in.
Well, if I could say, that reminds me, because it's a chase game, that reminds me of that movie, Surviving the Game. I don't know if y'all ever seen that with
Ice-T?
Ice-T, yeah.
Oh yeah.
How they basically they got him off the street and they just let him in the wilderness and just said run.
Yeah.
And then they started hunting him. So
Yeah,
they
that goes back to the original story that came from the Most Dangerous Game. There's this Edomite who would basically do that, and he'd have somebody come in, and he'd give them a great dinner, and he'd send them out, and he'd hunt them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a quick precept here. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 2. It says, the people that walk in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them has the light shined. And just as the brothers are going into talking about rehearsing the righteous acts, you know, right now we're in Israel itself is in an era where a lot of things have happened within this past week, and there's a lot of naysayers that can point out this or that, you know, just as the brother saying, we are rehearsing, and you know, just like in a movie or just like in an act, sometimes mistakes are made. We have several people here that come from different walks of life, but you know, what happens when you wake up? Like, you know, I'm sure each and every one of us can relate when we were young, late to school, and mom would come in and turn on the light switch. Well, when you would wake up, that bright light, it's kind of blinding, and you're trying to grab yourself together, and that's exactly what we're doing. You know, we may not be saying the correct prayers or enunciating things the correct way, but the Most High tries the reins, man, and He sees us. You know, He sees us acknowledging that the Sabbath starts by the waning of the moon. You know, according to Sirach in the 43rd chapter, man, and so you know. Now, I say this to say that in case that there are people behind that camera saying, oh, well, they're not doing this, they are not doing that. Well, the Most High tries our reins, man, and He sees us, man.
Yeah.
So,
Like it's just building on your point. You know, technically, we're supposed to be doing this in the land of Israel. So, you know, that's why, you know, it is a rehearsal.
yeah.
But it being a rehearsal, it's still a very serious matter.
Yes.
You know, Lord, this isn't a party. You know, we're not. You know, we're not at a club.
Right.
We're within the house. You know, brothers here all have serious demeanors. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know, this is a very serious thing. We take it seriously because it's not a joke to us.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is our heritage,
That's right.
right? This is what we live for this.
Yeah.
Most of these other camps, you know, They taking these things for granted. And guess what? The Lord is gonna look back and be like, y'all niggas was playing.
Right. And
We're not playing out here.
Yeah. And just because we're not in the land of Israel, don't mean that the Lord ain't bringing up judgment now.
Right.
You know, it's you know, brothers that's been in the truth, y'all, you know, brothers, we see judgment before, during, and after the Passover. And Lord willing, you know, with these events that's happening in the heavens, man, is gonna usher in more judgment, man. I was just watching a video from Elder Damasha Pot this morning, and you know, tornado season is coming, hurricane season is coming. Okay, the Lord is the author and the creator of all that, man. It's not Mother Nature. So, hey, the Lord is gonna come with more judgment. That's why in the Psalm Assembly, all right, year by year, you know, stripping off that old man, and you know, finding more ways to seek the Lord, and offending less, man.
That's right, bro.
Priest.
Go ahead. Whoever, go ahead.
Just speaking of solemn assemblies, but to back up your point of signs, there was just hail today in Atlanta. That happened in Exodus as well, in Egypt. And that's just one more sign adding on to all of these signs that are here with the blood moon, with these eclipses that are happening, with especially on the Passover. There was hail for the start of the Passover. I think that's heavy. But I've got Zephaniah 3 and verse 18. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Because once we wake up and realize that we're in the situation that we've been in, and it was all our fault, and that we're under these curses, it's only the ones who are actually awake who actually, it's a burden unto them. And so you have to do better, and that's why we're out, and that's why we're teaching to wake up the rest of our people so that we could get out of this situation that we're in. And then going on to verse 19, because it's showing first this act, this solemn assembly that we're in, and then what the Lord's going to do about it. And he says, behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing both sides of it. There's this awakening. Ezekiel 37, Valley of Dry Bones, standing up and crying unto the Lord, which is going to cause this second Exodus, and the Lord bringing us out of this land of captivity. And in the process, he's gonna pull us out of it, and he's gonna give those men praise and fame, because he's gonna be setting them all the way on top, which is what he said in Deuteronomy, that he's gonna put us on top of all nations in the first place. And so everything's coming full circle.
Yeah. So we gotta go through these processes and these steps. We gotta go through the trials and tribulations. We gotta go through the afflictions.
Yeah.
You know, some brothers gotta work in the morning after this. Some brothers just came from work to do this. You know what I'm saying? This is part of the process. These are necessary steps to show and prove to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that we hope to be worthy. Like the Lord's Passover, which we'll probably get into that too as well. Brothers have that. But we'll go around, and then before we jump to Exodus 12, we'll just go around and get y'all brothers got precepts?
Yeah.
All right, Zachariah, go ahead, and then we'll move down the line.
Just to back up brother's point, and we're not just doing this again just to do it. We understand that this is a solemn assembly, this is a solemn gathering. I understand too, on top of these things, we know what times are we living in. So the second Ezra's 9, chapter 9, in verse 1, it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. Well, every brother in this room, even brothers that's been out on the highways and hedges, starting with the apostles, elders of great millstone, all the way on down. We understand, the times that we're living in. We're measuring the times.
Yeah.
And we're doing that by being attentive. We're doing that by basically considering what's going on and paying attention according to the scriptures, and backing it up with real events that we can actually look at or research.
Right.
Okay? continuing on, it says, and when thou seest part of these signs pass, which everybody do, we all do. We're seeing a lot of things, you know, being brought to pass, which means what? He's coming back. All right. Each day that goes by, the days are shortened up to where he's literally gonna crack these skies and we're gonna see it, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
bro, we're already in Esau's third month, but we're already halfway through the third month.
Yes. Yes.
Like that shit moved by so fucking fast. That's how you know the scriptures validate. Because the scriptures, the Lord said he'll shorten the days, right? And like I said, we already 3.5 months in.
Can I just add on to the brother?
Go ahead, bro.
It brings to mind in the book of Genesis when Pharaoh had that dream about the 7 years of famine and the 7 years of good things. Here we are as the prophets who are interpreting that dream and telling you that tough times are coming, and now is the time for you to prepare yourself spiritually, but you're not gathering it. You know what I'm saying? And so even back in those days, you know, people heard the interpretation, but they continued to farm. And then what ended up happening? They sold their property, and then they sold themselves to Pharaoh for them to get food. And that's what's coming to you guys, man, is that people are going to have to end up selling themselves through the mark for you to get that food, man. So it's a solemn assembly because we see the signs, we see the Most High working, man, and the brothers are out here warning you, man.
Zakari, is it okay if I land back? Just a quick preset, because even you're speaking about the account with Joseph and stuff, right? I wanted to get this quick precept now, and then I'll get right back to you, Zakari. Salaki.
Oh no, you good, bro.
This is because even though you say that too, all these people, they haven't been gathering or telling them to gather. Like if there's a drought coming,
Yes, right.
you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be shit out of luck. There are gonna be some that are gonna be forced to come to us, who have been gathering and have the food and the sufficient enough supplies to get through this drought. You know, that's happening. So this is Psalm 98:3. It says, "He hath remembered his mercy and his truth toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our power." So that, you know, even you said the Israelites, you know, pretty much cried to the Lord. That go back to Exodus, the 2nd chapter, the 23rd verse. It says where they cried by reason of bondage. But through this drought that's about to happen, the famine of the word, things of that nature, and the spirit, because a lot of these people's spirit gonna be drained. They gonna have to come to the well. You know, which is, what was you gonna say, bro?
Can I just say one more thing? Just as back in that time before that famine came, people started to store up their seed. Well, what the scripture says, store up your treasures up in heaven. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. So we see that spiritual famine coming. And right now, just as it says in the book of Isaiah, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, because there's coming a time where there's going to be a drought of the word, just like the word's going into, man. And that's exactly what we're doing. A lot of you people are not heeding that warning, man. But that goes back to the solemn assembly, man. We're not partying, we're not having fun, you know.
Just for a greater purpose, for a meaningful purpose. It's greater than us, and we understand that. And us doing this is going to allow us to Lord Abaratazar, we bow down and get a crown placed on our head, man, because we believe in it.
Slaki, I just wanted to get something real quick because y'all touching on it.
Y'all brothers get in there, man. You know,
Hey,
like Bishop say, man, y'all gotta get in there.
This Sirach chapter 2 in verse 16, it says, "They that fear the Lord," Slaki, verse 17, "They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight."
Brother, there's a saying. There's a saying, chance favors the prepared mind. The scriptures tell you to trim your lamp. When you go into the word trim, it means preparation. You see? So read that again, bro.
What you reading?
This is Sirach or Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 17. "They that fear the Lord Yahweh will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight."
See? Prepare their hearts. And it started off with what? The fear of the Lord. You know, that's, I know you're in read Sirach 1:1 real quick.
Okay. Sirach chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, "All wisdom cometh from the Lord Yahweh, and is with him forever."
So therefore you fear him. Therefore now you understand the wisdom that it's wise to fear him. Therefore you can prepare adequately for this time this drought, like the brother brought out, that is coming. A lot of y'all motherfuckers walking around here with insufficient funds.
Right.
And then you're gonna try to cash a check that your ass, cash a check that your ass can't write. So how the fuck it go? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna try to do it, and it's gonna bounce. It's gonna bounce back, and then you're gonna have to, a lot of the sincere are actually gonna come to the bank of the prophets, Lord willing, to be us, who have been storing up and preparing this whole time for this. We've been doing. Some brothers been in camp for 10 plus years. Been doing the Passover, cashing in checks in the bank account, a spiritual bank account, and y'all gonna have to come.
Yeah, and this, this is not just a one night solemn
Right.
assembly. Like this is a serious thing. It's perpetual, 365 days of the year.
That's right.
I got a precept for y'all.
Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, and verse 28. And this is speaking of Moses. It says, through faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyeth the firstborn should touch them. So this goes into what y'all were saying about the fear of the Lord.
Yep.
Moses, he obeyed, and they kept that Passover because they feared that death angel that was going to come through.
Right.
And we stand in the same lot today.
Right.
We living in this world on a day-to-day basis. We see that something is off, and that judgment is about to come. And so we're making sure we're rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of our ability, so that we can, and hopefully, have grace and mercy from the Lord.
Right.
Yeah.
Your principles are hope.
Yeah.
I would appreciate
You still have more on yours though?
I did, but
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
This is Lamentations 3, verse 22. It says, it is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because of his compassion faileth not. And, we're doing this song simply because the Lord has compassion upon our souls, man. The rest of the people out here, they're bugged out. They're probably at the club or something. There's just a blood moon eclipse outside, and people are just tweaking out.
Yeah.
But the Lord has this in the book,
According to some of these niggas, they it ain't even the Sabbath.
Right.
Which that's going off.
Wild work.
You know what I mean? But the Lord, did you see how the Lord validate the prophets, his men that he's really dealing with?
Right.
He put a fucking blood moon up tonight on the Passover on the Sabbath.
Right.
You can't, man, that's super spiritual, man.
it's scary.
Man, most of these people, they not considering, Israel does not consider, man. Our people do not consider how serious of the times we're in. Go ahead, bro.
Have a quick precept. The second Ezra's 9 and going down to 11. I was already in here, but
Go
going
ahead.
down to 11. And they that have loved my law, which they do, even for those who do know that they're Hebrew Israelites or know of the name. Everybody's doing this. The scripture says what? Not everybody. The ones that are doing it are doing it. The scripture says, let the unjust be unjust still. You know? So those who are settled upon their leads are doing it. It says, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. So a lot of people, when it comes to this truth, they just love less when it comes to the things of the scriptures.
Right.
See, when it comes to the world, they love doing it. It's fun doing, whatever the fuck you want to do, sin and whatever the case might be. But when it comes to the scriptures, they hate Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, man.
Ultimately, that's what it is.
Yeah.
They hate the Lord, man, because with the Lord, there's rules. There's rules, regulations. There's things you can't do. Right. There's things you have to do. But here it is. The Lord give us rules of things we can and can't do. There's a standard set up. But when these people deal with Esau, they follow Esau's fucking rules and regulations to a fucking T. But when it comes to righteousness, our people hate righteousness.
Right.
But our people don't take nothing serious, man. They're like Smokey on Friday, man.
Yeah, they don't love Esau laws. When he said line up, and while you lined up, get 6 foot apart, they did it. When he said, hey, go to your neighborhood church and get juiced up, they did it.
That's right. Hey, go line
They don't
up.
like Yahweh Shemiah.
Yeah, go line up and vote.
Right.
Go
They
put a
did
mask
it.
on.
Yeah.
They did.
We'll grab anybody else's precepts and we'll just jump into the Exodus.
I got a quick one.
Go ahead, bro.
You got it first.
We'll get the mic.
This is Psalms chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and in his law doth he meditate day and night.
Yep, bro. That's it. You got it out.
Right. Hey, basically, be holy. You know, be separate from the world, from these people in the world. Like Akim was just going into. You know, following Esau is going to lead to you. You know, having contaminated blood. You know, following Esau is going to have you having you know, grievous sores. You know, from taking the MOTB. Following Esau is going to lead to you being in the lake of fire. You know.
Or you say contaminated. Well, what does that go back to? Revelation 8.
Yep.
Dealing with the wormwood.
Yep.
You know, that's that radiation, that contamination from the missiles, man. That's what you people's gonna get.
Right.
That's your reward if our people don't turn around and repent. They don't take they want to pollute the word of the Lord, pollute his words, pollute the scriptures, pollute the truth, and guess what? We're gonna drop that missile on your ass.
Right.
Can I
You got
get
it,
a
bro.
quick one in there?
Yep.
Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 36. But he that sinneth against me wronged his own soul, and all that hate me love death.
That's heavy.
That's a cold one, man.
That's a cold cut right there.
Yeah,
bro.
you hate the Lord, you
Basically,
must love death.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
committing to unalive yourself.
suicide.
Just a quick thing, your love is a verb, man. That is an action. So for you to love death, you're destined to be burned, man.
Yeah, they love death. Look what they're doing today. Look what we're seeing every day. They're killing each other, committing adultery. When it comes to Yahweh Shema Shai, they shun them. They look at us like we're a joke.
Yeah.
We don't do nothing for sport or a joke up here, man.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
we sincerely do this out of love.
That's right, bro. Yeah, we get your precept.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go through the
Yeah.
Exodus, and then we gonna, we're not gonna make this long because we gotta go through the service.
Oh yeah.
So,
Shalom's precept earlier mentioned prepare, so I've got that word and then I've got a precept, but from the Etymon again, it says set in order or readiness for a particular end. We're waiting for the end of all things, and the scriptures always speak of setting your house in order. So that's what we're really doing. We're trying to get ourselves in order, trying to set our houses in order, including our families and everything, so that we can see the end of this place and get into the beginnings of the kingdom. As 2 Ezra 14 and 13. Now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people. And so we're gathering ourselves together in the way that the Lord wills under his law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities. And then at the same time, teaching our people, showing them what's right, what's not right, and what the Lord hates.
Yeah.
So reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble. It's massive exhortation that goes out within these camps, especially, or here first, because this is where the start is for us. There's massive exhortation and pushing and trying to make sure your brother gets past that finish line. And it says, comfort such as them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. So turning away from death, turning away from breaking the laws, because that's what brings death, and looking towards life and the kingdom, which is coming.
That's it. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this Exodus 12, and I'll pop it off. So this is Exodus 12 and 1. So we really go through this during the Passover as well. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. And we're currently in the month of Abib, which is the first month. If a brother can get that in the blue letter, the month of Abib, and let's read what it means real quick. I'm gonna keep going. This is verse 3. It says, speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. It says verse 4, and if the house be too little for the lamb, let him that is his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall take your account for the lamb. You got that word yet?
Con.
You got it. Go ahead, bro.
It says,
We'll call it out with
I'm sorry.
call it out with chapter and
Oh, Con, this is Exodus 12, and I believe the first, it's like the second verse, right, Kosh?
Yeah.
On the word month.
No, not the word month. I need the
go to Exodus 13.
Exodus.
You got it? Go ahead.
Oh, Con, so
I got it.
Yeah, whoever got it.
No, you got it.
Okay, yeah, this is Exodus 13 verse 4. It says, I believe it's Abayat or Abid. So like it's a fresh, young, barley ears, month of ear forming, of greening of crop.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do you want me to get the Strong's?
No, you could just keep it at that. But it says what? Fresh and young,
Fresh and young.
which is new. And we've been saying this in our camp. I'm sure the other camps have been saying it. You can see the environment around you. Our calendar, how we go by it, is the correct way to go by. Spring came in.
Yeah, you can smell it.
You can smell it. It
Yeah.
sprang right up.
flowers already blooming and everything.
Trees getting their leaves, pollen coming
Pollen,
on.
you smell the pollen in the
Some
air.
couple
You see
bees
the,
on there.
you see the pollen, you know, in the air.
Yep.
When the wind blows, you see. And next week, probably gonna see a coat of pollen on the pavement. Man.
Yep.
Cars covered in pollen.
You know it's spring when the tweets of the bird wake you up, because that's been waking me up the last few days. You know, you don't hear them tweeting in the dead of winter. You know,
January, right?
exactly.
It's not January, right?
Right.
Right.
So we're in the month of Abib. It's refreshed. It's new. So I'm gonna keep going, just like it says in Revelation. Can you get that in Revelation? New.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And then of course get that in Greek as well.
Yeah, Kosh, I know I brought up the wrong word, but even with that word I brought up, it says the new moon, monthly. Just to back up,
Yep.
you know,
The new moon.
Yep.
You know, so it's a new month, and we're in the 10th day of the month, which now we're keeping this service. See, we follow the scripts to the best of our ability, and like we opened up with Judges 5, 10 and 11, we rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord. You know.
Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven
There you go.
and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and there was no more sea. And that word for new is Strong's G 2537, kainos. It says new, recently made, fresh, recent, unused, unworn.
Mm-hmm. See, recent, unused, unworn. And that takes you back to what Revelation 14:4, where it says, they shall follow the Lamb whithersoever they go, but they call them virgins, you know, who are undefiled. You know, so I'll keep going for you, Kevin.
Go ahead, bro.
So it's verse 4 again, Exodus 12:4 says, and if the house be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Verse 5, your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep, from the goats. Verse 6, ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and shall in the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. Verse 7, and they shall take of the blood and strike it on the side posts and on the upper door post of the houses where they shall eat it.
Yeah, and then it goes to show that how many people are actually doing that. You know, how many people are actually growing a lamb, an unblemished lamb. You know, how many Israelites is having a neighbor that can't afford it, a lamb, a whole lamb, right? Not just a lamb chop, but a whole lamb. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Raising the whole lamb perfectly. You know what I'm saying? that's how we know it. You know, of course, that literally happened. But like I said, it's a spiritual thing for us now. You know, it's not. You know, we ain't got no money to, you know, dice up a whole lamb. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man.
You're right.
And then put the blood on the doorpost. And we ain't, you know, that's how it's a spiritual thing, man.
Right.
But Jake want to pollute the Passover. This is a serious thing, man. Because we're hoping that the Lord pass over us again,
That's
which
right.
is it's going to go into that. The Lord literally passing over us. We're hoping that we're clean. You know, that's why we go out to the highways and hedges. That's why we try to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. You know, here it is. Jacob sit there and the law. We'll take your ass over to Israel on the correct Sabbath.
Right.
Get you a whole lamb, unblemished. Kill it. Invite the poor Israelites that can't afford to get a whole lamb.
Right.
Yeah.
You're supposed to keep it with them as well.
Look at us.
You know, and get you a house and put the blood on the doorpost. But Jake ain't about to do all that.
Right.
But they'll sit there. The law. Well, this is written in the law. This is something we're supposed to do.
Jake had macaroni and cheese at they Passover.
You know,
Cornbread.
not being serious.
Real.
Real shit.
Go ahead, bro.
Jake had macaroni and cheese.
I got a quick precept.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
This is Ezekiel 9 and 6 because as we're reading in Exodus here, so I'm marking our post with the lamb. This is Ezekiel 9 and 6. It says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Now when you go into that word mark, it's the wall, which is the mark of exemption. Now we're not slaughtering a lamb per se here, but we are exempting ourselves by putting the blood of Yahushua upon our posts, man. Because just as the captain was saying in the book of Exodus, there was a death angel sent, and there's another death angel coming, right? Which just this past week we saw several messages going about the dream of the death angel, and we're preparing ourselves. We are putting that the wall on our doorposts. You know what I'm saying?
I got to put one.
Go ahead.
This is Revelation 7 and verse 14. It says, and I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest, this time about the elect. It says, and he said unto me, these are they which came out of great tribulation and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb, which is talking about Yahushua. You know, because spiritually, you know, we're not doing it physically. We're not physically putting blood on our doorposts, but we're spiritually putting the blood of Yahushua on us.
Yeah, imagine if we, you know, imagine if we was putting blood on our fucking doorposts.
Oh man, somebody was going.
I did my first shot.
But I'm just saying, like,
I did my first one too.
neighbors would be calling the cops on us, like these niggas over here slaughtering animals,
Yeah.
being weird and all this kinds of shit. So that's how, you know, it's spiritual, man.
That's right.
It's a spiritual. This is a very spiritual. Man, we are a spiritual people, man.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and we're in the land of our captivity.
Right.
But we still rehearsing.
That's right.
You know, it's a rehearsal, man. You know, we'll get it if we're part of the Lord's elect. Well, matter of fact, Israel's gonna get it anyway.
Right.
You know, we're just trying to avoid the missiles.
Right.
We're trying to avoid getting fucked up out here. So that's why, you know, we take the correction, we take the reproof. We go out and do what we're supposed to do. We teach our people. We pray for each other. These are the things that we're supposed to do to avoid getting hit with a missile. You know, we're out here, we're here on a Thursday evening on a Sabbath doing this service, doing this live lesson to avoid getting fucked up out here, man.
Right.
That's how serious this is.
Right.
This isn't a joke, man. But our people, they won't consider, man.
That's right.
They will not consider. But go ahead, bro.
Exodus 12 and 8 now, it says, and they shall eat the flesh in that night. It says, roast with fire and unleavened bread, with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Verse 9, eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and the pertinence thereof.
Pertinence, I believe, is organs.
Yeah, just the whole thing. Yep. Someone get Genesis 9 and 4 real quick. Real quick.
This is Genesis chapter 9. I'm going down to verse 4. And it reads, "But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat."
That's right. So going back to Exodus chapter 12, verse 9, it says, "Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water," which means boiling. My brother, get the word pertinence real quick. It says, "But roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the pertinence thereof," because the captain just, gave a synopsis of that. Let's get what the word means as well for edification.
Because that's what we do.
I got the word.
Edify.
I got the word pertinence here is karab, and that's a mist among the inner part, middle, the inward part.
So that's simple. Pretty much, just like the captain said, all the inward parts, everything, the whole land. Verse 10, it says, "And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn it with fire." It says, verse 11, "And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, with your shoes on your feet." Passion stab, brother. This good brother Kabari brought the staff. Says, it says, ye shall, verse 11, "And thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover."
Yeah, that don't mean have a fashion show and have a merry-go-round at the Passover, man.
Right. The Lord is saying this with your shoes on your feet, with your loins girded. There are some pictures of actually like how you can wear your garment in different manners. When you're about to run or something, like you can tie it around. But you have to have that girded, your shoes on your feet, pretty much ready to go.
Just like when we're done with the Passover service here, brothers gonna break out and go straight home, man. There's a precept in Sirach, where it basically says, roughly paraphrasing, basically take your ass straight home. Just in plain words. I forgot where it's at, but it's in there.
Sirach 32:11, I believe.
Is that what it is? If you can find it, bring it up.
Get thee home without delay.
That's it.
Oh,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah, that's it.
Get thee home without delay.
Yep.
Because like I said, this is a very spiritual night. You gotta think, we were talking about this before we cut the camera on outside, dealing with the moon. And how it deals, the lunatic.
Yeah,
how
right.
it basically it controls the tide. So that's, our body is 70% water.
Right.
Self-explanatory.
Right. Get home without delay. And in this case, he was telling them to prepare yourself because you go into the next chapter in chapter 14, so on. The chapter 13 was the beginning of the Exodus. So that all took place after the eating of the Passover. So they had to be ready to go. Definitely angels gonna come through. You're gonna hear a lot of screaming and all that stuff. And then time to get the fuck out of town. You gotta get up on out.
But I got a quick preset real quick.
Oh yeah, you got
I had a quick preset because this just came to me because the brother read the word preparation, and we're reading from the book of Exodus with our feet on. And the scripture that came to mind was Ephesians 6:15. It says, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Now, scripture's talking about having our feet put on with the preparation of peace. Now, what was that word in preparation?
It says set in order or readiness for a particular end. And then got one more too for you. It says this, bring into a particular mental state with reference to the future.
So after eating this Passover, we have to spiritually have our shoes on of what's to come.
Yeah.
Before that's it.
Read that last definition again.
read that real quick.
It says bring into a particular mental state with reference to the future.
See, and as a prophet, what mental state that you have to be in? A prophetic mental state. All right, because what is prophecy? To say before you're predicting what's going to happen before it happens. Or you're not predicting. You know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to be in that mental state, and this is putting us in that mental state.
Yeah, because like we were saying before we cut the camera on, which we might not even get through the whole Exodus 12. You know, we just get to the, you know, because like I said, we probably go through it during the service. But you know, before we cut the camera on, we were basically saying that, you know, after tonight, we could wake up in the morning and shit can just get real.
Yep.
You know, that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
So that's the mindset, the mentality that we're in, you know, tonight. You know, this, like I said, man, this could very well be the last one. I was telling brothers, you know, if we're here 2026 and shit gets real, we're probably gonna end up having to hold the Passover on our own, individually.
Yeah.
You know, that's how serious this is, man. That's how serious that the Lord have the spirit on us to be in this what's the word? Solemn assembly.
Yeah.
That's how you know these other Israelite camps that just be, you know, fucking around. The Lord ain't dealing with them.
Right.
And you can tell because they're not moving according to the scriptures.
Yeah, appreciate
Go
it.
ahead, bro.
2 Peter 3 and verse 12, just to the point.
Mhm.
Looking for and hasting until the coming day of the Most High, wherein the heavens, being on fire,
Mhm.
shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So yeah, we're hastening for the day of the Lord and for, you know, World War III and the implementation of the mark of the beast.
Mhm.
All right, and we're just looking for stuff to go down, man.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah,
we're looking forward for the next pestilence. All right, to lock you people down.
Yep.
All right, because you people got worse after this boogeyman that happened 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, we're hastening the coming day of our Lord, man. You know, that's why we what was the year? The year of the push, the year of prophecy. It's the same. It's like different slogans that the apostles have, but it's the year of prophecy, the year of the push, the year of the charagma, where we're hastening what our apostles are bringing out year by year, and that's our motto. You know, hastening the day of the Lord and to be saved from the current destruction that's coming.
Just to back up your point, Captain, you said even tomorrow it could just change like that.
Yeah.
And we saw that. We saw that in 2020.
Yeah.
And the Passover happened and then lockdowns.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was really like that. And that was big for me. I was like, oh my goodness, this is it really is. This is the date for the Passover. And that really put it into my mind that everything, I mean, I already thought I was doing the right thing that the Lord wants, but that really showed it to me. Like, dang.
Mhm. Yeah, because that was the Great Millstone, if I believe, was the only camp that had the Passover during that year. Because after that, everything got shut down.
Yeah.
Yep. If I can say too, because I'm pretty sure all of us remember, and I'm gonna sum it up to how we can apply that mindset we had back then today, because we knew what was about to come too. A lot of people here in America, they didn't know nothing about no C-19.
Right.
You know, unless, you know, you have a small number that heard of it. But a lot of, even then, a lot of people who heard of it didn't even know it was going to actually hit America's shores and it was going to pop off. And I specifically remember, bros was like, well, we're going to get ready. Just keep sending up prayer. Let's see how this thing going to go.
Yeah.
So we're coming to we're in the mind frame again with World War III. We see it's going, all right, we see it's happening with the C-HIP, the micro C-HIP. We see it's going on, we see it happening. We've been telling people, well, it's going to come to a point of time to where the next day when we wake up, it's going to drastically change our lives. It's going to be the biggest I told you so.
Yep.
That's it.
So let's keep going. It says, Exodus 12 and 10, it says, and ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. Verse 11, and thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. Verse 12, it says, for I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord.
Yeah.
It says, verse 13, it says, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. It says, verse 14, it says, and this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast of the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever.
Yeah, and real quick, this is the Passover, but it's also the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which it's going to go into, you know, but it's going to explain it, but I just, you know, putting it out there.
It says, verse 15, 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread.
Yeah, so every day until next week, Thursday, sundown, gotta eat unleavened bread, a piece of, you know, a little tortilla, you know, a little chip. I know me personally, I'm eating tacos all week.
Yeah, it's tacos.
You know, that's tacos, lunch and dinner, man.
Right.
You know, but that's just, you know, hey, you brothers know. Y'all brothers know. I know y'all brothers know. Y'all brothers know. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's you know, if to be safe.
Yeah.
Right. Rice, beans, tacos, man.
Right. Yep.
You know.
Someone get the precept. A little leaven up the whole lump. Because like the captain's been equating this to, this is all spiritual. I know this is an actual literal thing that was happening, but this is spiritual of what's happening now. Even everything we read, how he's going to go through Egypt, he's going to smite the firstborn. He's going to do all this all over again. You know,
I'm actually holding it.
Okay. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
Second Ezra chapter 15 and 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before,
Yep.
and will destroy all the land thereof.
What was the point? What was the point? It says as before, so therefore it's going to happen again. And it, what is it? Wisdom of Solomon. In Wisdom of Solomon, I forgot the chapter. I think it's like 17. It really breaks down everything that was happening here to a T in detail. And you times that by 10, because what we see here, especially during the one of the plagues where they were plagued with darkness, that's when the apparitions and everything were, and demons and, you know, things of that nature are actually tormenting them. Imagine that now. Imagine that now.
Yeah.
You know, especially with this technology, and then the pride of these people were worse than the pride of the people in Egypt back then. Okay? So verse 15 again, does someone have that precept?
I do.
Okay, so verse 15 says, 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whatsoever eateth leaven bread for the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. Go ahead with the precept, bro.
Comes 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and 6. For glorifying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven the whole lump?
It says for glorifying is not good.
Your glorifying is not good. Verse 6. Your glorifying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump.
Right. So I'm gonna get another quick precept. Sirach 7 and 4 says, seek not of the Lord preeminence, neither of the king the seat of honor. Justify not thyself before the Lord, and boast not thy wisdom before the king. So reread that verse again.
1 Corinthians 5 and chapter 5, and verse 6. Your glorifying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaveneth the whole lump?
That's why you're supposed to make amends with brothers before this Passover. Or even if you didn't physically say something, just water under the bridge. It doesn't matter. Repent and pray the Lord forgive you for anything that you've done to someone else, or you forgive somebody for doing something to you that may have rubbed you the wrong way, and water under the bridge and move forward before you eat of the Passover. You see, because a little bit of leaven up the whole lump. You live that leaven in you, you are cut off. Just like it says right here in verse 15 in Exodus 12. So it's like the captain keeps reiterating it. It is serious. Okay? A lot of you other Israelites always have something against one another and then sit right next to each other and eat of the Passover.
Right.
Unworthily, which is it's hypocritical. Yeah. Therefore, you're cut off spiritually. You know, in this sense, you know, And in this sense, you got dealt with. You know? Is there more?
There's some more. Verse 7. Purge out thereof the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump.
See? And that's casting out the leaven out of your house.
Mm-hmm.
Because the house that this is speaking, when you read this in the spirit, the house it's talking about is you.
Because
Yes.
you know, we are the kingdom within us. So we are the third temple.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's what Corinthians said. Don't you know you are the temple of the Most High?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you gotta think, man. It's probably a Cheerio. It's somewhere in the couch somewhere. You got kids, you know, you got little kids. It's probably a fucking Cheez-It or something somewhere in the house. So
Right.
you know, that's how we, you know, with spiritual, we take it out as much as we can.
Right.
But it's, you know, it's more spiritual than it is a physical thing. That's why we gotta keep saying it. It's a rehearsal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's a rehearsal, but that leaven, yes, we like you said,
it's
take it out your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can go.
Yeah.
You want to wrap it up? I'll wrap it up at verse 20.
Yeah,
I'll read through it fast. Drop it.
because you know we're gonna go ahead and read through this pretty quick, so we gotta go through the service.
Verse 16, it says, in the first day there shall be an holy convocation. In the seventh day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. Verse 17, it says, you shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in the generations by an ordinance forever. Verse 18, it says, in the first month of Bib, it says, on the 14th day of the month, at even, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. It says, verse 19, 7 days shall there be there shall be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Verse 20, and we'll end it right here. It says, ye shall eat nothing leavened, and all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread.
Yeah, and then, you know, for those that are on the camera, continue reading. You know, which we know the story. You know, the Lord basically passed over those that had the mark, the sign on the doorpost, and those that were, you know, didn't listen were killed. And those that didn't follow the spirit, those that didn't hearken unto the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai were dealt with, man. You know, and like I said, we hope that the Lord passes over us in these times to come. Mercy. You know, that's why we pray. But yeah, you know, that's you know, pretty much the lesson for this evening. You know, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. We're gonna go ahead and do the service. And for all y'all out there, man, I pray Yahweh Shemel Shai be with the Lord's elect. So we're gonna close off giving our praises to
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Chakadash.
A double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to the Hakim that pushing the word of truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.
I got you before. It's like
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm good. Hold on, bro.
yeah, still.